Hey everybody, how's it going? So by now I'm sure you realized I'm back in Canada, and it's pretty cold here. So today I just have a couple things I'd like to talk about. It's going to be a relatively short video. It's not going to be your typical entertaining video, depending on how you look at entertainment. I just want to talk about a few things that's going on my channel and what I'll be doing moving forward. I guess the first thing I'd like to address is the bright, colorful lights. I'm sure by now most of you know that there's a law being passed that's going to take effect January. That is the COPPA law by the FTC. Apparently YouTube is in some hot water with the FTC because they were showing ads to kids under the age of 13, which is illegal because they're impressionable. Now there's a lot to unpack there. If you don't know about the COPPA law, there's a lot of people who are smarter than me who could probably explain that on their channels. Just Google COPPA or YouTube COPPA, and there's going to be more than a dozen videos there to help you out with that. Now, being a YouTube creator, this COPPA law will affect me. If you don't know, there's a new rule going around where you have to mark your videos for made for kids or not made for kids. So if it's made for kids, that's 13 and under. Not made for kids is pretty much everything else. And if it's marked for kids, you won't receive ad revenue because they won't be playing ads. Your videos will be harder to find, and it just seems like it's going to be a lot harder to find anything that's marked for kids. Now the adult thing, I'm not sure how they plan to play this because YouTube's been doing a real juggle thing going on lately. They take offense to people who swear, they don't like edgy content, and that really puts the not for kids in a tough place. Unless you're talking about tech mechanics or, you know, stuff that kids under 13 would have no interest in, it's hard to determine what is made for kids and what's not made for kids. I feel like a lot of my content on my channel could sway both ways, which is what worries me a bit. My Spider-Man video, for instance, is a little worrisome to me because, you know, I do have a kid actor in it, but he's like 15 years old. They said in the documents, I read the documents, they were short, they were really ambiguous too, you know. Dude, you can't have child actors or actors that children look up to. Really vague kind of, you know, description about what you can and can't do. Again, like I dress up as characters all the time for my skits. I mean, it's just something I want to do, you know. I realize that I feel like most of my audience is in their teens to 20s, but YouTube really has us in a bit of a ball binder right now, if you know what I mean. And even some of my other videos where, you know, I'll make stuff like the neon lights or the Devil May Cry signs, I do say in the video, if you don't feel comfortable with this, ask a parent or guardian. If you're young or don't feel comfortable using an X-Acto knife, ask a parent or guardian to help you. You know, if you want to have your kid or something do a little project, this would be the better option to do. You know, it doesn't cost much at all. And if you read the documents, they mentioned like trigger words like that. You can't use words like fun, dude, duh, whatever. Ask your parents was one of the words, which is what worries me a bit. But I'm also not Logan or Jake Paul. You know, I don't seek out that audience. My audience is more for people who play video games like Devil May Cry and Metal Gear Solid, those kinds of things. Those games are all rated M. So for the most part, I feel like I'm in the clear when it comes to that. But then again, with other stuff, you know, I do dress up, and I remember Elsagate was a big deal. If you don't know what Elsagate is, people were dressing up in, you know, costumes. That itself was its own can of worms, and a lot of kids were clicking on that. Regardless of all that, so I have to make a choice by January 1st, I believe it is, whether or not I'm going to be making... Well, first of all, I know I'm going to be making my channel for adults. It's like, it's always been a more mature... But there I go again. It's not even a mature kind of production I put on here, you know? It's an all-around fun thing for everyone. I want everybody to enjoy my videos when I make them. I'm not particularly making for like a hardcore edgy audience, and I'm not making for, you know, kids under 13. I definitely don't think I'm making for kids under 13. But, you know, things like the Spider-Man video, you know, kids are interested in that. And Marvel in general, like I love those movies, and I don't know where that stands according to the FTC, because according to the thing, it's just so vague, you know? One of the biggest problems I have is that they mention that we shouldn't worry that they are aware that some things are made for a general audience or a more mature audience, but I don't know how they're going to determine what's what. I mean, I don't imagine people our age are going to be the ones who determine that's for kids and that's not, you know what I mean? I feel like it's more people like our parents, you know? If you ask my parents, like, what kind of movie is a Marvel movie, they're gonna say these are kid movies. If I ask my parents about any video game, they're gonna say video games are meant for kids. So if those are the kind of people who are gonna be determining what is and what isn't for kids on YouTube, well, I think we're all kind of fucked here, you know what I mean? So that brings me to my next point. Unfortunately, I don't know how frequent I'm going to be making videos. I really miss the days where I did it once a week. That was just a gem of a time, you know? I was able to come in once a week, just, you know, shoot a video, put it out there for you guys, and I got all sorts of great feedback from you. But as we saw in the summertime, when I had a 9-to-5 job as a lifeguard, that really hindered upon my ability to make videos. You know, I actually had a second job too, and there was always just something else I had to do, something else to take my attention away from making videos. I remember I went to the States with all the footage from the Spider-Man video, and I only got like a half hour here, an hour there to solely put it together, and these videos are a lot of work. My last video that you saw, the Metal Gear Solid video, that was a lot of work. The editing for that took weeks. I would just sit in the chair, hours at a time, just hammering it out. You know, I needed something, I'd have to find a green screen. I had to go to like a fabric store and buy some green and blue fabric, and that's what I used as a green screen. But that being said, like, you know, I enjoy that I'm doing these new things. I'm going into territory that I've never done before. When I was a kid, I just shot on the camera, put the clips together, and then that was my video. Now I'm getting more detailed stuff. I put a helicopter in my last video, you know? I had gunshots, I had a cage, you know, I had all these things. There's sound effects, some I made, some I borrowed assets from the internet. Thank you so much, everybody who puts out free assets. You just make everyone's life easier. But that being said, you know, I'm putting a lot of money into these things. I'm trying to make new things, and a lot of the time I find that I'm too ambitious for what my wallet can handle. And now that I'm back, I have to find a new job, and I'm gonna have to start working on that. So that's gonna take a lot of my time, but I will keep making the videos. I don't want to stop making the videos, but again, they're just gonna be fewer and far between, you know. It's really tough, you know, in the real world. There's always something else keeping you from following. It sounds cheesy, but there's always something else keeping you from following your dream. There's always something in the way, and that's why, you know, you got to really push yourself for these things. And I am pushing myself for this because I really want this. I really want to be a filmmaker, if it's not evident enough. But I feel like my audience is going to suffer a bit with how often I'll be able to actually produce the video. I would like to do it once a week again, but you know, as it is right now, that's going to be really tough. I was talking to one of my friends who's also a YouTuber, and while I'm really against this kind of idea, he did explain it to me in a way that kind of makes sense, and told me about, you know, Patreon. Of course I know Patreon exists for forever, you know. I know it's been around, everybody mentions in their video, don't forget my Patreon. And like I didn't really feel like I deserve, I don't really feel like I deserve donations or anything like that, or help fund me kind of stuff. The way my YouTuber buddy explained it to me, it was that I should treat it more like it's a tip jar, and it kind of is when you think about it, but it's going to be tough. And if you want to see me do more videos more frequently, I am going to open up a Patreon, and I am going to open up a Ko-fi. It's Ko-fi, if for anybody who doesn't want to do Patreon. Ko-fi is different. It's like a one-time thing. You just do it once, or you do it as many times as you want. It's a little different in Patreon in that respect. Of course, I'm not telling anybody to do it. You know, if you can't afford it, don't do it. You watching my videos is already more than enough of a blessing, but the way YouTube has it rigged right now, I'm not making any money off of YouTube, and I'm just, you know how elaborate I can be with my things. I like to make costumes. I like to build little sets and stuff like that. I like to put a lot of time and effort into my videos, and YouTube right now is not giving me anything for that. Like everything I put, I'm in the red right now when it comes to like YouTube as a business for me, and that's the only real reason I'm finally caving into the whole Patreon Ko-fi thing. But in general, you know, like I want to keep getting bigger, and I want to do more, and I want to have more elaborate videos. You know, eventually I want to have like a team. But as it is right now, you know, I'm getting 0 from YouTube, and that's not going to happen until I hit 1,000 subs, which I'm still pretty far away from. And even once I hit 1,000 subs and I start getting, you know, AdSense money, if, you know, the FTC hasn't completely destroyed YouTube by then, there's no guarantee that that's going to be enough. You know, like if I get 1,000 views, it's something like $2 per video, and my videos are usually between, you know, like 30 views to like 200. Also, if you want to make me work for my money, I'm going to be opening up an Etsy. Pretty much Etsy is somewhere where you can buy or sell art or trinkets or anything really. It's like an eBay for like artists or something like that, as I understand. And I'll start making them for you guys if you want them. That's not to say that every now and then I won't give away a free painting as part of a contest or something like that. That's definitely still a thing that I'm going to be doing. By the way, Drunken Bird Gaming did get his package. He sent me this picture, and there was like 6 of them. Actually, there was 7 because I gave him the comic book I used in the video. I autographed it. I don't know why. I just thought it was a good idea at the time. So anyway, that's going to be a thing now. So from this video, I'll be opening up a Patreon, an Etsy, and a Ko-fi. Again, anything you guys can do is just the best. That's really just what I wanted to talk to you guys about, just the current state of what's going on here. I'm not going to stop making videos. Even if I don't get any donations, I'm not going to stop making videos because I already feel bad for asking in the first place. But if you guys help fund it, then, you know, I don't know, I'll make some perks and stuff like that for you guys. We'll do something fun about it, you know what I mean? But just know that the more help I get, the more I can give back. Other than the Copa thing and the Patreon and Etsy, I do want to discuss one more thing with you guys. I'm not going to do it just yet. I'm going to leave it up in the air, and I'm going to let you guys kind of like tell me if you think it's a good idea or not. But I really like my Taubermancer page for my videos. You know, the videos that I do the highly edited stuff for. I also do like to stream, and I don't know how I feel about my streaming videos going on my main Taubermancer page. I mean, if you scroll through my things, you know, I have like the fun thumbnails that I put up there, and then all of a sudden you'll see like a shot of me like streaming, and it's just so wildly different than the content that I'm used to doing. In regards to that, I was just thinking, what do you guys think about me opening up like a second channel where it's just the streaming? I'll call it like Taubermancer Streaming or something like that, Taubermancer Live. If you guys think that's a good idea, let me know, because I don't know. I know a lot of YouTubers have like secondary and third channels, but the more channels you have, the more hard it is to manage. So those were just my thoughts for today. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you have any suggestions for a video you'd like to see, or if you'd like to see me build anything, comment down below and let me know what you'd like to see me do next. Otherwise, I will see you on the next one.